All right, welcome back to the channel, everyone. Hopefully you guys are having a great rest of your day, start to your day, whatever time it may be. And in this video, I think it's time that we discuss the next plan of action for the Shelby GT350. If you guys have been keeping up with current events, we have an ESS G3R head unit on the Shelby GT350 with the 115mm pulley. I know some people think I have the 105 or the 100mm pulley. No, we are on the 115mm pulley, obviously on E85. And personally, I'm very, very happy with the performance. I think the car is surprising a lot of people. Now, let me know down in the comment section right now how much horsepower you think the Shelby GT350 is making currently with the 115mm pulley. The car was supposed to be on the dyno about a month ago, but unfortunately that did not work out. It was raining that day and the dyno people now are kind of being weird, but it is what it is. If you guys enjoy the content on the channel, feel free, drop a like on the vid, subscribe to the channel, turn on those post notifications to stay up to date. Now, we just got back from a road trip. That's why the car is absolutely filthy. We went to Mexico to get some runs in. It's also been raining. The weather's been garbage. I got all this leaves in my garage. It's real bad. Like, Houston has been terrible these past couple of weeks. Honestly, this past month, well, technically it's the beginning of July, but all of June was kind of chalk with the weather. We're gonna go ahead and actually turn the boost up on the Shelby GT350. Like I said, we are on the 115mm pulley right now. The plan is we're gonna go down to the 110. We're gonna swap out the clutch and we're gonna see exactly what the car can do on the street as well as on the dyno. I personally think the car is making around 850 to 870 wheel horsepower with the 115mm pulley. These ESS kits are incredibly efficient. With the Coyote variant Mustangs 5.0, 5.2, it's actually kind of insane because this is a BMW part technically, because these were designed for like BMWs. They modified the kit for Mustangs and now they've completely taken over. I've put roughly 2,500 miles on the ESS G3R head unit with the pulley on my car, and it's by far the best decision I've made force induction wise for all the cars I've went ahead and boosted. This ESS kit, I'm telling y'all this right now, if you have a Mustang and you want a centrifugal supercharger, get an ESS head unit. If you have a Shelby GT350 and you want to boost it with a centrifugal supercharger, get an ESS kit. It puts in work without really having to pulley down whatsoever. These pulleys, the 115, I believe it's rated for 9 psi at 7,200 RPM. Obviously, with the Shelby GT350, you're shifting at 8,250, 8,300. So I think right now the car is making around 11 pounds of boost. So, yeah, just rough estimate, I'm thinking it's making around 850 to 870. And considering the fact that, you know, we went up against cars that, you know, make that much horsepower or more and either kept up or beat with a stick shift Mustang that doesn't have weight reduction, you know, like crazy, I think it goes ahead and speaks volumes how good and efficient the ESS head unit is, specifically the G3R with the 115mm pulley. Like, it's actually crazy. You can see the pulley is big. You can see right there. I'm gonna go ahead and get my GoPro. Can y'all see it? I don't know if y'all can see it. Okay. There you go. Y'all can see it. 115mm pulley. We got the 115 on here, and we have the G4 intercooler. So it is, you know, the best option as far as cooling goes. Now, so far I've taken the Shelby GT350 on 2 road trips to Mexico and multiple, you know, rounds to Mexico just to go ahead and run some local cars. Like, we're driving 3 hours, racing it, driving back, doing it again, racing it, driving back. Like, I drive this car. It's not a car that, you know, has to be on a trailer, you know, only can run, you know, a couple hits and then it's done. I mean, I'm literally driving this car 3 hours, sometimes more, racing it and driving it back the same night. So I'm going ahead and showing how just reliable, you know, you gotta obviously be smart about it, and effective these ESS kits are, you know, on the Shelby GT350 as well, you know, in general. Super happy with it. But again, we're gonna go ahead and turn up the boost. I think the 110mm pulley is definitely gonna be making over 900 horsepower without a doubt in my mind. How much over 900 horsepower, I'm not too sure, but I will say this, once this car gets a fuel system, right now, you know, 4 is going through some stuff, so, you know, it is what it is. I think with the 105mm pulley, from what I've seen on the forums, that is gonna be pushing high 900 to 1,000 wheel. Do I wanna go ahead and push over 1,000 wheel? No, not really. I think the 110 is gonna be like that perfect spot because a stick shift car that makes 900 horsepower, my personal opinion, is amazing. I already think a stick shift car that's making 800 plus horsepower is amazing. But just to go ahead and, you know, secure some victories against some 10 speed or just some automatic cars in general, a 900 wheel, stick shift car, I think that's gonna be an absolute W, and I cannot wait to go ahead and experience that in the Shelby GT350. I think it's gonna be incredibly, incredibly fun. Now, I went ahead and actually checked the oil because I do that like every 300-ish miles. This is a 2016 Shelby GT350 with the Gen 1 motor, and the oil was literally right in the middle, so I went ahead and added a little bit. You know, that's just what's gonna be going down. That's kind of the schedule I've been on as far as oil changes go. 2,500 miles, we're about to be at 2,500 miles. Usually I like to change my oil 2,000 to 2,500 miles. Realistically, you're not needing to add oil if it's smack dab in the middle. I just did it just because, you know, peace of mind. It wasn't a quart low, none of that. It was literally smack dab in the middle. Some people say that's where it should be, especially after, you know, 2,500 miles. And this is not like driving the cars and coffee, you know, doing hits, whatnot. I know a lot of guys love to say, oh, you know, I beat on my car, you know, but it's just the cars and coffee and doing a hit for the kids. I'm quite literally driving this car, racing it, and I'm not driving like 10 minutes down the road. We're going hours. So just going ahead and, you know, making sure that I'm staying, you know, on top of maintenance. So right now, I need to go ahead and actually get the E85 jugs out the car. It reeks of E85. You need to go ahead and put some gas in it, and then, you know, that's gonna be it. And also talk about the clutch, because the clutch is smoked, absolutely smoked. Stock clutch, stock transmission as well in this car, which is nuts. I cannot believe the stock clutch has lasted this long. Cannot believe it. Super happy with that, I ain't gonna lie, because that clutch should have been done miles ago. But hey, you know, it held up. It's just slipping, so can't really do hits. I can still drive the car, but taking it to Mexico would not be a good idea right now. All right, let's go ahead and get a cold start. It's been a couple days actually since I've actually turned the car on. I think I have like 50 to E, or it's like 60 to E. I don't have a lot of gas in here, I know that, which is why I need to go get gas right now. Oh yeah, I don't have any gas. 37 to E. I knew I didn't have gas. So we're gonna go ahead and get that taken care of. Oh, it smells like E85. Like 2,400 miles on this pretty much. Actually, hold up. No, about 25, because I forgot to turn it on the first 100-ish. Not really fully 100, but yeah. I'm gonna get my oil changed in like 2 days when it comes in. So we'll get that done.
A few moments later.
All right, behind the wheel, headed to the gas station. Clutch feels alright. You know what I'm saying? I can still drive the car. I guarantee if I did a pull, as soon as I engage 4th gear, it's probably gonna slip. It is what it is. It lasted over 10,000 miles boosted between the horsepower range of 700 to now whatever it's making right now. Definitely well over 800, I'll tell you that. Definitely well over 800. 31 to E, we gotta get some gas ASAP. As far as the clutch replacement goes, like I have like 2 different companies in mind. I'm either gonna go with Vengeance or I'm gonna go with like Spec, because I do know a lot of people have had good success with those clutches. With the stock 3160 transmission, I've heard that people have damaged the transmission with the McLeod clutches, which is crazy because I've had McLeod clutches in like damn near every single manual car I've owned. It's just McLeod or nothing, but apparently they don't work that well with this transmission, so I'm gonna stay away from that because I do like the 3160. I think it's actually geared really well for this car and for the top speed that, you know, I like to go to, because right now my top of force like somewhere high 140, 150, which I think is perfect for a manual car. It gets out the hole hard, and you know, it could stay out the hole, you know, realistically up to like about like 130 to like 140 depending on the horsepower and also the gearing of the car that I am racing. Don't want to go to a T56 in this car just for the fact that I feel like, actually not that I feel like, I know it will go slower if I was to just swap a T56 in here. I'd have to go ahead and get 410 gears to kind of go ahead and get it back to where it was originally, and it's just, it's not really worth it in my personal opinion. It's gonna vibrate a lot more, so I think the best thing to do would be to get a clutch that can work with the stock transmission, and worst case scenario, just build on the 3160, get a built 3160 if the transmission were to you know, eventually fail and break, which, you know, just doing rolls, no digs, I think will be all right for quite some time. But definitely need to go ahead and get a clutch in here. And also, as far as like how strong of a clutch I'm gonna get, I'm just gonna get a clutch that can support like 700 foot-pounds of torque, because I know with the 5.2 they're not torquey. Centrifugal supercharger, they're not gonna make that much torque. I'd rather have a clutch in here that, you know, let's say that will last, you know, 10,000 miles of beat up at like 900 horsepower before it starts to slip. I'd be happy with that, instead of getting a clutch that's like too strong and like breaks the transmission in like half the time. So I'd much rather go ahead and have to replace a $1,500 clutch as opposed to getting a whole transmission replaced and rebuilt. So that's the route that I'm gonna take. Let me know down in the comment section what y'all would do as far as clutch. I know Vengeance has a good clutch. Their stage 3 is like the 6-puck. I don't want to put a 6-puck in this car. I've driven with the stage, well, not really stage 3, but I've driven a 6-puck clutch before, and it was horrible. Hated every single minute of it, and I actually burned that clutch up like in 1,000 miles. The first like upgraded clutch I put in a car was that ACT clutch way back in the FRS. That clutch didn't last at all. That clutch literally got stuck to the floor. I burned that shit up quick. That's partially my fault, because that was actually the first stick shift car that I drove and modified. And you know, I'm not gonna lie, I was stalling that car with that clutch. It was a horrible experience. It was hard to get off the line. It was hard to just engage regularly. Racing, it was great. You know what I'm saying? That thing went in, like, it went in quick. But that's what it's supposed to do, because it's a 6-puck. So I don't want that with this car. I'm thinking of sticking with an organic compound. I know some people are gonna say don't do that, but like I said, I'd rather have a clutch that will last like 10K miles and then start to slip and then just replace it, than go ahead and, you know, get a whole new transmission. If I can replace the clutch 2 times over and it still won't cost as much as getting a transmission replaced and built, so I think we're definitely gonna go with that for sure. So something that makes, you know, 700 foot-pounds of away with the stage 1 in all reality. I know the spec, I think it's called like the SS trim would work. The P trim unfortunately is like, I guess, out of stock. I don't know, because that's what I would have went with off the rip, but if I can find a P trim, I'd go with that. But I'm definitely not putting a stage 3 clutch in here, Vengeance. I know some people recommended that. They said they love it, they have no issues with it. Personally, I'm not riding around with the 6-puck clutch. I'm not doing it. I think those, for me personally, I don't like the way they feel at all. I just personally don't. It's just too harsh. I've also heard good reviews about Mantic as well as that RPS triple, but those Mantic clutches are up there in the price. They're like $2,500, and then the RPS triple's like $3,500, and I'm like, damn, bro. The clutch costs more than a transmission. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I don't know if that's even worth it, to be fair. I bet you that RPS triple probably feels and engages amazing, but for $3,500, I don't know if it's worth it. Personally, you know what I'm saying? I don't mind a heavy feeling clutch whatsoever. I just don't want one that's gonna engage like shit. And I know the Stage 2 Vengeance will be great, because I've actually felt the feel of a Vengeance clutch. I think it was actually a Stage 3, ironically, and it didn't feel that bad, but as far as driving around, I don't really want to do it. But the Mantics, I've heard those are pretty good as well, but I've also heard those that have had Mantics, the Serra metallic ones, that they get hot spots too. I don't know, there's a lot of different options in all reality. I've actually even considered putting another stock clutch in. I'm not even kidding. And just running another 10K miles on the stock clutch. Theoretically, that's not even a bad idea, you know. But we're just gonna go ahead and get a mild option that I know will not tear up the transmission. That's what I want to do. I want to get an option that's gonna last a decent amount of time, that's not gonna break the transmission. I know you gotta pay to play, but at the same time, I feel like putting a beefy clutch in here and then just breaking the transmission quite literally, like, what, 1,000 miles or 2,000 miles down the line, I don't think that's smart whatsoever. It's always better to have the clutch go instead of the transmission. That is a clean F-type. That is a clean F-type. So we'll see, y'all. We got a lot of options. We got a lot of options. Just need to narrow it down to what's going to be feeling the best. Where you going? Oh, he's turning. Definitely cooked. This stock clutch is 100% cooked. It's spongy. I can feel it. It ain't happy. It ain't happy, I'll tell you that right now. Alright, so my dumb ass actually pulled up to the gas station without my wallet, and I don't believe in Apple Pay. I'm just not putting my stuff on my phone. So it is what it is. Luckily I had some gas in one of those jugs, because I was like really about to be out. I had like 10.
Has connected your phone and is reminding you that 911 assist is set to off.
Oh well, it'll be enough to get back to the crib. So, yeah, I guess I'll catch y'all when I get back. All right, back at the casa. Now, the plan of action is to get a clutch next week and then go ahead and get it installed while I am actually back home in Chicago for my birthday, and then come back, break it in, and go ahead and get some runs in, because there should be a very interesting meet going on this month that I absolutely am gonna need a clutch for, and I'm also gonna need more boost. So we should be making around 900 horsepower. It ain't gonna be enough, but it's gonna be enough to have fun, and that's all that matters. So if you guys enjoy the content, feel free, drop a like on the vid, subscribe to the channel, turn on those post notifications, and above all, stay safe out there, y'all. Deuces.